crazy morning this morning as far as getting the stream up and running, having all kinds of technical issues and whatnot. So if this doesn't end up working out today, it may understand that it is just because I'm getting completely cucked due to another Windows update. Hooray for the Windows update that is. Um, Bump, 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 bump. Hope everybody had a great Easter. Do this, do this, and then that goes to this, which goes to this. Bum 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 bum. Okay, so this. Man, oh man, oh man. I just. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Trying to solve some issues here, guys. Man, I hate this. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. It's just such a pain sometimes. When things get updated and then you're just stuck with this endless headache of trying to fix things. Hopefully, YouTube can help me figure this out here because this is driving me nuts. But trying to update the channel banner and it's giving me the worst headaches. Anyway, yeah. So legal pod is something that we have heard about for a while. Schumer looks like he's going to try to push that through the Senate, which is good news for pot stocks, I think, eventually. But um, AMC is obviously looking good. Janet Yellen to push for a global minimum corporate tax rate. This would be interesting. If the EU chooses to adopt this, a 24% tax rate, they would have to come in line, I think, with the EU. Hmm. Okay, so they're going to try to fix this at the end of the day. But I did create a great new banner. However, it's not updating, so it's not working. Boo earns. Boo earns. That's all I gotta say. I am gonna start trying to create some more YouTube content as well for you guys, specific videos. So there is a fine in England of up to $5,000 if you leave England without a reason. Crazy. I am currently watching Zemetica very closely, SNDL very closely today. I will be watching GameStop as well. They did have an offering come through. The narrative on this is they're dropping 3.5 million new shares at $20 to $30. GameStop. It's down 10% pre-market, but of course the bulls are saying this ain't nothing. I'm not looking for an uptrend. I'm looking for this to continue its decline. Offerings are really bad news, really, really bad news for GME. So, um, really bad news. The narrative that GME is working alongside the retail investors to try to cut the shorts. An offering is one of the worst things that could possibly happen for a short squeeze because you're diluting, you're creating more shares which are available for them to buy up. And these shares, this offering, let's see here, GME, I want to confirm this directly from their press release. They dropped their unaudited sales results. I don't see anything about the offering though. So they're selling 3.5 million common shares under the at the market offering. I think I go to Edgar here. Okay, April 5th through Jeffries, up to $1 billion, no more than 3.5 million shares. Blah, blah, blah. This will be interesting to see because if it's at the market offering, and they drop this and say, okay, well, this is how this is going to be. We're going to drop this offering at the money, and They throw out these 3.5 million shares at this price. Where's GME right now? Like 160? Down 17. Yeah, so like 175. So let's say 170, 175 is where they put these out there at, and they don't get bought up. You just got an increased amount of shares that are sitting out there in the market now doing nothing. Um, hmm. This will be an interesting one to watch today. Retailers are in here for sure. Very, very interesting. It'll be very interesting to see what happens with that throughout the day today. SNDL is up a little bit pre-market. Zomedica's up a little bit pre-market, but not a ton. So we'll see. We'll see. Um, so this seems to be the big thing against them. Had a great Easter. Yeah, sporting events are going to be interesting. There's a lot that has to go into real life. Yeah, there's so much that has to go into um, real life sporting events again. As far as just being careful with what's going on, you don't want to expose a whole stadium to something nasty, right? So uh, that's kind of the big risk that they're taking. Hopefully, that's great news for DGLY. DGLY's got those thermovision tents. They're doing all right pre-market here. Um, just want to see what else the latest news. I did not watch any NCAA. I can't really watch basketball. It kind of drives me nuts. Any game where there's that constant back and forth like that, and the score gets to be something ridiculous, like a couple hundred points, it's very difficult for me to watch. I just can't get excited for that. And that's just it. Like the highlight reel is the best part of the game for me. The highlight reel on basketball games, great. You get to see all the dunks, you get to see those buzzer beating shots, and then you're done. You didn't have to sit there for 2 hours. Um, it, that's kind of just the ones. Um, yeah, it just drives me nuts. Yeah, I can't watch soccer either. I've tried. Occasionally, I'll tune in for like a World Cup final, but otherwise, I just can't do it. Football, I can watch. Football, I can watch because you gotta. It feels like you gotta earn the points. Um, Same thing with hockey. I can watch because it feels like you gotta earn the points. Baseball, I just can't watch guys stand around scratching their nuts for 2 hours. It drives me nuts. Um, Discovery's coming back. Yeah, I'm a Steelers fan. I've been a Steelers fan. I'm a Penguins fan. I'm a Steelers fan. I don't watch baseball, but yeah, lacrosse I love to watch. Lacrosse is amazing to watch. It's harder to find that, but if you can find a game, it's worth watching. With baseball guys, I would rather watch cricket than baseball because the best part of baseball is watching the batter, right? Best part of baseball is watching the batter, and so with cricket, you just get to watch that all the time. No, I shouldn't say I went to school. I didn't go to school in Waterloo. I was a WTI kid. I'm not from the area. I didn't grow up in the area, I should say. Right, right. It takes 3 days to play a game, which is kind of the nutty part. But if you just want to watch people hitting a ball, cricket's the one. I'm talking baseball versus cricket here. I'm not talking versus any other sport. I'm not saying I'm gonna rush out there and watch me some cricket, but market's almost open here, guys. So let's go. Um, Open up marbles. World Cup. I'll play like a fantasy pool on it, but I'm not. Oh man, this is gonna. I freaking hate Windows updates, man. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. All of my settings gone on this new Windows update, and it's just driving me nuts. Completely boning. It's opening my all of my stuff on the wrong windows. It's like I can't. Okay, so what am I going to do here? I'm going to do. Let's go. No, that won't work either. I can't do that. Hmm. Settings. Window. Let's move this over here. Okay, hopefully you guys can see this now. Let's do a quick one here. Dark of reality. Yeah, all my audio settings are thrown off, all my macros, everything. Let's go. Get in, get in, get in. Let's do this quick before the market opens. You guys can pick the ticker, make it happen. I did not take an HTIF position, but I am watching it very, very closely. I would love to see them make some news of buying locations in the States. I think that would be a big part. I am actually interested to see a decline on the lockdown in Ontario. But all right, 10 seconds. Yeah, Ethereum did quite well over the weekend. I'm happy that I put some money in there when I did. 10 seconds. Get in or don't. Rock, I don't know that you made it in time, man. We'll see. Whoop. I don't see. It was always, yeah. My capital is locked until pot gets legalized or Zemedica announces sales. Yeah. All right. All right, Sean, it's your call, buddy. We got Moxie. Yeah, that's a great sales pitch. Ugh. Guys, anytime that you're buying off of It Makes Me Feel Good, don't do that, please. Please, 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 please. Speaking of which, redemptions on voice. Anything that you hear out of myself, anybody in chat, anybody on voice, we're not financial professionals. You shouldn't be listening to us. Definitely don't take your financial advice from people on the internet, okay? Please don't do that. Don't do that. Go seek out a financial professional. There's lots of them out there, guys. If you're looking for specific people, whether you're in Canada or the US, I do have a command that I am overdue to create, sending you to two financial advisors that I would suggest you go talk with at the very least. Um, but yeah, don't be taking your financial advice from people on the internet. Do your own due diligence. If you're self-managing your portfolio, come to your own decisions. If you're not sure what you're doing, you're just getting started here trying to figure things out, a financial professional who's accredited, who's looking out for you, may be the best way to go. So do that. Guys, book for the week. Mara's not doing half bad. I can't believe Mara's up at $50. I remember when we were trading this at 8. The book for the week. I actually really like the book for the week this week. It it was after last week's book. I was really upset about the quality of books that I've been reading lately. It's been driving me a little bit nuts. So the book for this week was How I Built This: The Unexpected Path to Success from the World's Most Inspiring Entrepreneurs. This one here helps me identify the psychology or the narrative of leaders that are building something that explodes into something massive. And it does break down analysis of a whole bunch of companies that started with simple ideas, but had the right foresight to keep going. So How I Built This: The Unexpected Path to Success was the book of the week. I'm just going to add that into my page for you guys. Go here. Yeah, so this is the right place, but then I want to edit this list. Okay. Yeah, so this list here, I want to edit it and add in. Shoot, what was the name of that book? Does anyone remember? I gotta go back over here. Spies Unstoppable. It's unstoppable. How I Built This. Okay. So here's the book. Great to understand. Strong leadership. Early adoption in the beta stage. So this one is getting added to the list, guys. It's been a couple weeks since I actually added anything to the list because all the books that I've read have been crap. So got stocks that you're done just because of the conversion rate. Yeah. Yep. Tis a thing. Portfolio as a whole, guys. SHG's coming back up a little bit. Portfolio. My main portfolio is now down 40%, 39%. I'm at 65K, so I'm up 15 grand on the year. That's it. From at one point being up around the 120 mark. So I am in it. I'm in it. I have not read The Innovation Dilemma. I have not. Yeah, I'm still confident on my position, guys. There's none of these that I've seen that have changed in any way, shape, or form based off of what my due diligence is. Could there have been a better entry on Zemetica? Absolutely. On SNDL? Absolutely. Both of those are half of what I got them at this point. Zemedica's not quite half, but it's getting close to half. So um, that is a thing. But ultimately, guys, so that reading list is updated for you guys. That reading list that I've got out there, they're all books that I have read that in one way or another have influenced my trading methodology. There's a bunch of great reads in there, as always, guys. Culture Code by Daniel Coyle is my number one. If you are an FA trader, if you're a TA trader, Reminiscences of a Stock Operator would be number one book. I think you should get the ball rolling with. Okay, let's go to the scanner and see what we've got as far as big movers today. Okay, bio, warrants, bio, warrants, bio, lot of bio stocks. Top losers, GME is right up there. Biostop, GME. Now people say, well, GME is only down 13%, so that's not a big deal. Okay. Yeah, Culture Code was a great read. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, you being critical offsite on stock tweets, I don't have a problem with. It's when you are antagonizing people inside your video on YouTube. I don't know that that's as necessary, especially when it comes to engagement metrics of don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. That's a big red flag I would caution against. But as always, man, your decisions, your channel. Yeah, you can't hear redemption at all. Okay, interesting. Ay, 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 ay. Dear Windows, stop updating forever. Sincerely, me. Okay, let's try that. Redemption, try
Like,
talking again. Now
like
you
it
guys can
literally,
hear him, right?
yeah, it literally makes no sense because I'm. This is not my words. This is their words.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just want to plug, like, they want to do that child thing where they plug their fingers in their ears and just go like la 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 la. I can't hear you. AMC go up, but like even they've said it themselves in their filing. Like the although it's nice that people are supporting our stock, making a meme or whatever, they're not showing up to the theaters. So it's
Well,
not because they
yeah,
don't want to, but
it was really interesting. So this weekend, guys, was supposed to be a saving grace for the theater industry, and the theater industry already had the articles written that Kong saved the theaters. It shows that there's still an interest in theaters. What they failed to mention is it's very, very rare that the international box office kicks the crap out of U.S. box office, and unfortunately, that's what happened.
the majority of that revenue
Even this
came from
weekend,
China.
yeah, 48 million revenue domestic. So that's US domestic box office is 48 million. 67 million out of China. The recovery of the US box office is not here. Now, That being said, their global numbers were quite good. It was 75 million internationally. Canada is essentially locked out of that because Ontario, which is probably the biggest market, and BC are both on lockdown still. Theaters were not open this weekend. I had intended to take my son to see Kong, but no doing, no can for 4 weeks. Ontario shut down.
And what's screwing them, and they've literally stated this themselves, what's going to screw them is premium video on demand, otherwise known as like Netflix, HBO Max, and stuff. And Kong came out the following week after, like when they were writing about like how it saved the movie industry. Right? I looked at the box office numbers on the opening weekend. It was like 3 million in North America domestic, and it was about in the 20s or 40s or something like that in international, but that mostly came from China.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
China
yeah,
China is driving it for sure. And it's a
yeah.
great movie to drop if you're trying to show box office gains because it would be there. But that's just it. Like it's
I
not
think
the
there's some prop.
recovery that you would have hoped to have seen, even though all the articles out there are touting this, that this is a sign of things to come. Now, the other thing that I don't see happening is summer blockbusters tend to be huge because you get kids let out for the summer that want to go watch movies all the time, right? Well, the kids have been out forever. The only thing that they have been able to do is go outside. This weekend was crazy. We went to the park and it was packed, absolutely packed. People everywhere at the park. Kids all over the playgrounds, people everywhere, just because it was the first nice weather here. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that, guys. I don't know that people are going to rush out to sit inside of a room watching a movie when that's what they've been doing for the last year. Hair, yeah, with Trueforma, I'm going to look that up right now because there's a couple of different things I want to see. So their featured products. It's not any of these. These are drugs. There's no devices here. I wish I could just see a. Don't see Zemetica. Oh, come on. I don't see Zemetica on here. Trueforma cost. Hmm. Yeah, I've seen that on StockTwits as well. You've got to call them directly and be a client in order to see it. Um, I really would like to find a screenshot of an actual sale, though. It's going, slow and steady. See if I can source something. GME is mooning or moaning? Uh, I don't know about mooning. Uh, if you were in GME at the close on Friday, it's a buck 90. It's fallen to 166 and now it's buying back up. This is that like pre 10 a.m. buy up that we normally see. And then it typically declines throughout the day. I wouldn't be surprised if GME finishes around 170 today. Uh, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see it come in with that. Yeah, I mean, from a buck 90 to a buck 60 in a morning isn't great. Um, that it's back up at 174 is just that buy up off the dip, but dilution is the worst thing that could happen to the narrative of Diamond Hands. It really is. It's just terrible for it. Okay, come on, show me a price on this thing. It's expensive. You got to know that it's got to be expensive. If they're not willing to just show you the price up front, it's always going to be expensive. And the company has been extremely quiet on this. No news. So for me, I'm in on a hold on it, guys. It's not just the Trueforma thing that has me bullish on Zemetica. It's also ZM017. This was initially what I was getting into this for was the um, this is a liquid biopsy for dogs. Um, I would say it's probably over 10K for a unit as well, plus the packages or whatever. Um, but this liquid biopsy for dogs is a big deal for me. This is the one that I'm waiting for. This news came out March 17th. Page not found. Do, 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 do. See, I can't connect to somebody there and get a straightforward answer. Zemetica, ZOM. Sorrento's looking to. So Sorrento's shifting gears out of COVID. Shocker. Their petri dish cure for COVID wasn't, and never will be. I'm just yeah. There's been a lot of guesses. I've heard 15K. I've heard 12 and a half. I've heard 5. I've heard 10. I'm just looking for an official sales documentation or something. Yeah, SRNE guys is the company that came out and said that they had the cure for COVID because they did it in a petri dish. Um, see if I can find the comic. Oh yeah, this. So this is how I feel about anytime I see a bio company that makes the claim that they have a cure for something. When you see a claim that a common drug or vitamin kills cancer cells, but this can you could say COVID too in a petri dish. Keep in mind, so does a handgun. Uh, it it's farcical for a point, right? Like this isn't how this works. This is not how this works. Ooh, eight tracks with that sweet sub. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But yeah, so Sorrento guys, they came out. They said we've got a cure for COVID. That's like saying you got the cure for the flu. Even if you had a cure for this year, you will not have a cure for next year, or the year after, or the year after. At best, you will have a guess. That's the best that you will have. Half of Republicans is trending. Why is half? 3 months after mega mob stormed the Capitol, about half of Republicans believe the siege was largely a nonviolent protest or was the handiwork of left wing activists trying to make Trump look bad. I'd love to see the numbers of where they get that half.
I like also how the Sunday Times was trying to make it seem like Hunter Biden was a victim.
This one?
Yeah. At the age of 2, he lost his mother and his sister in a car crash. Decades later, he became an addict to crack after the death of his soulmate brother. Like, really?
Yeah, I
This
like my
reads like
heart
a
does go out to the guy because that's rough. To lose your mom and your sister, that's dog shit. That sucks. It really does. And I'm there. To lose your soulmate brother, like I kind of think I know what that is. But there's a lot of people that these tragedies happen to that don't turn to crack. Um, Now, I'm happy that he's sober now. I think he's sober, right?
think so, but they're trying to steal attention away from the stuff they found in that laptop.
Yeah, I mean, we still haven't heard anything on that. So until I actually hear something on that, it's a nothing. But
Oh yeah, no, it is a nothing. It's just what was it?
is it
Image
still?
repair or reputation repair? Oh, they lost that laptop.
Yeah, but the guy who gave them the laptop originally made copies of the drive. So
Yeah, I don't hear about him anymore. Maybe the FBI took
you got
care of it, you know?
abstained. You got
Yeah.
abstained. Yeah. There could be a laptop out there that was stolen from me. It could be that I was hacked. It could be that that it was Russian intelligence. It could be that it was stolen from me, or there was a laptop stolen from me. It says the FBI and IRS are still dealing with it. They're still looking at it, so there's no updates. I would very much doubt if we ever hear anything about that, to be honest, guys.
Yeah, I think it's gonna die in obscurity.
Drug addiction is no joke. Yeah, I went through it. As somebody who used to be a cokehead, I can attest to what drugs are like and how they can ravage your life for sure. So, this is why I'm not downplaying death in his life. I'm not downplaying drug addiction. Definitely not joking about it. Um,
let's be clear here. I hate the media and the way that they are not doing actual journalism anymore, unbiased. They are doing essentially propaganda nowadays, and this is just what I find a travesty of the of the news media nowadays. They're not willing to tell the news as it is. They're trying to make you think uh, what they want you to think. So
The big thing for me with this, guys, is it's a bit of a straw man. Okay, so for those of you unfamiliar with the straw man, it's when you're having a discussion or a debate about a single topic, and then in order to argue the topic, but you don't have an argument to actually counter what's happening, you talk about something completely different. So you just shift everybody's attention over to something else, which is kind of the issue here. HDIF is looking fine. My only concern with HITF, you guys on Twitch can't see this, it's a YouTube question, but HITF, my big concern is Ontario being locked down for the next 4 weeks. They do have online sales, but those new retail locations in Toronto ain't going to be doing diddly squat. I'm fairly certain recreational pod is not an essential service. But yeah, the straw man, guys, for people to be saying, okay, well, what about crooked, underhanded business dealings in China and Ukraine? And that's what we're dialing in on, and that's what we're getting down to. Or, we're having the conversation about child pornography on a laptop. Okay, we're talking about that. And you're saying, okay, well, here's this computer. It's here. It's his. It was in his possession. During the time of possession, there is child pornography on it. And then somebody goes, yeah, but his mom and sister died at a young age. He lost his soul brother, and he smokes crack. When you word it that way, people go, wait, what are we talking about? I'm confused. But when it happens like this with headlines, we don't do that. So that there's that, right? So it's just come back to what are we talking about often, and that's going to help you a lot. Are we discussing business dealings in Ukraine and China? Great. Then unless the hard drive has something on it that speaks to that, then we're not talking about that. If we're talking about the hard drive, great. Then we're not talking about Ukraine and China, and we're not talking about his crack addiction and the people passing away. We don't know what was on it. We just know what the headlines have read. That's what I'm getting at. Is until we get something factual from the FBI or the I think it's FBI that's dealing with it, right? It's a domestic issue. It's not CIA that's looking at this. So I think it's
yeah,
the
no,
FBI.
the
Until
FBI.
the FBI makes a formal statement of some kind, for me, it's
FBI does a lot of the internet crimes
yeah.
investigation stuff too.
Until it's FBI, until the FBI makes a public statement about something, I don't think that there's anything there. And I doubt very much they're rushing to find anything, especially given that Biden is the new jefe. How likely is it that there's going to be a lot of high tide stores in the U.S.? I think it's not likely at the moment unless we see a U.S. partner come in. It's going to require that for sure. I think if there's a U.S. partner that they pair with, then fantastic. If I was them, I'd be looking to some of the newer states, New Jersey, New York, instead of trying to break into California or Colorado. But we will see what we will see for sure. Okay, let's pop back over. GME's leveling out. It looks like around 175 right now. ZOM is leveling out around, looks like it wants that 140 line. SNDL. No, that's not SNDL. That's SNDL. Buck 10, buck 9. Volume on the day. Top volume CTRM, semi SNDL Zomedica. So top volume again, almost 400 million already on SNDL, almost 112 million on Zomedica. Huge volumes. Yeah, and I mean that was something that I was asking myself over the weekend. What would I constitute success for Zomedica? And the number that I have set in my mind is I want to see 10 15 million in sales. If I see 10 15 million in sales as their initial number, just off of their East Coast sales, I think that's really promising. That would be killer for them. Right now, they're estimating that their operation costs are about 32 million. So they can bring in 10 million in initial sales up the East Coast. And then as they move over into the West Coast, I imagine that we probably see that number double or triple. So we're looking at 20, 25, 30 million in sales in their first year. That's fantastic because that covers their cost basis. People go, yeah, but then what? Everybody owns these devices. What's the big deal? Well, the big deal for me is the initial launch and the devices that are in these facilities require cartridges, and it's an endless flow from that point of cartridge sales over and over and over. It's the repeat purchases that's the real value. So for me, if I saw the 10 million number, I'd be really, really happy. If I see 5 million, I'll still be happy. If I see sub a million, that's not really gangbusters. That's not really what I was hoping for. But if we're looking at 15,000, pull up a calculator here and do it that way. If we're looking at 15,000 in 15,000, we'll say 15,000 is what the unit costs. They need to sell like 70 units to hit that. Are they partnering with anyone? Yeah, they gave up. They do have an internal sales team, but Miller Vet Supply, which is one of the largest vet supply, I think they are the largest vet supply company in the U.S., is managing the sales of the units. So they have existing partner relationships with vet clinics all over the states. And they are starting initially with the East Coast, so New York down through Florida and Texas. Um, so that's the only place that they're focusing off this initial launch. So if they're able to sell 70 units, that's it. 70 units, which I think, given the amount of clinics on the East Coast, how many vets in New York State? That number is not as easy to find. Okay, so this is just for New York, and I'm gonna ballpark this, but like, okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 55, 60, 65, 70. Just in New York State, it looks like there's 70. This is total. This is the total number of veterinarians, but this is the total number of clinics. I can find total number of vets, which is large. I would say there's probably about 70 to 80 veterinary clinics in New York State. So just New York State, they could hit that 70 mark on their sales. And this is a ballpark, guys, but that's just New York State. Um, New Jersey vet clinics. Huge red volume candle on ZOM earlier. There isn't news, no, which may be what's causing that large red volume. Which like, there's large red volume everywhere. I assume that you're talking this one here. You can't see that. Wrong screen, millennial. Okay, there. I assume you're talking about this large red candle here. Um, I wish I could just change this scale. You know what I mean? But it doesn't let me do that. It's like a 2 million scale or something. I think this is just on the lack of news. People are continuing to take it lower and lower and lower. Um, there's this one at 934, and then there's another one here at 941. Again, I'm not playing this on TA guys. I'm not playing this on price movement. I'm not playing this on chart patterns. I'm not like what I am playing this on is the FA that they are breaking into an emerging sector that's due to boom over the next 2 to 5 years. They have a first-in-class patented system that uh, has great initial sales potential, but also has great ink selling potential. They have the potential to become Xerox in the short term. Now, I would be like, well, Xerox declined now. Yeah, but that's after 40 years of being the king. So for me, Zemetica is starting with this Trueforma platform and then pairing that as well with the potential of um, the potential of this is this okay. Zemetica also having the potential of that liquid biopsy is a thing. Nanox, wow. So let's go Enox on the 5 year. Okay, doesn't have 5 year. So it's been here before. Enox has been here before, guys. Its 52-week high was 95, so be aware of that. Zemetica's barcoding. Yeah, I hear this narrative about barcoding a lot. I can't get accurate short numbers. Nobody really can. So let's like Finviz is kind of what I'm using as a to get a ballpark, but um,
You want to see accurate? You want to see a ridiculous short interest thing? Look at AMC's thing. Their last report didn't even fill from my video.
yeah, I'm wondering if the GME offering fills today.
Oh,
Yeah,
they had to vote for
the
that.
the FDA has given 510K clearance to Nanox. The issue is they're not actually looking to sell the product until 2024. So it's great that they have clearance, but they're not actually looking to sell this product for another 3 years.
Oh shit, no, my bad. I was thinking of AMC's 500 million. I think GME's. I think I saw GME's offering
Yeah,
to
GME's
raise
offering is
100 million.
3.5 million at the market. But I don't know that people are going to buy up 3.5 million shares at the market.
You know, institutions won't. The regular consumer will.
You think so?
I
At
think
that
the regular
price?
consumer will. I at the market, yeah. I think the regular consumers will. The uh, the Dunning Kruger is very strong with people who are essentially holding at 450 on GME.
So this is saying Nasdaq is 15 minutes delayed here, okay?
Yeah, it's they're probably using the free feed.
Okay, so this is a 15-minute delay on short float, okay? CHPT, whatever this is 85% shorted. That's starting to get up there. That probably will be of interest to some people that play the short squeezes.
I mean,
But
like the
looking for the
hold on,
original meme
hold on for
stocks.
the short squeeze on this thing. This thing is only updated. This thing follows the 2 week updates, the ones from Finviz. It doesn't follow the daily ones that Finra puts out.
Yeah, so again, guys, there's no perfect immediate number for the actual short interest. I just use this to give me kind of a ballpark of where things are landing. Um, but of the initial ones that were part of the meme stocks, Koss is the only one left on this top 10 list. The rest of them are gone. Naked, Castor Maritime, Zemetica, SNDL, GME, AMC. They're none of them are on here anymore. How far back do I have to go before I start to find some of that? There's Woof. Mm, we're on page 5 now. There's AMCX, which is actually one of the ones that had the high short interest. Not AMC, but AMCX. It's at 22. We're 6 pages in now. There's AMC. Mare's on a tear. Yeah, crypto. I still don't see Naked, Castor Maritime. Oh, there's Jimmy, 152. They're estimating an 18% float short. I just don't. I don't see the narrative anymore. I think I know that a lot of people are still clinging to this thing, but there's Castor Maritime with their offering down 21% as a result.
Oh God. So Lumen's having a investor day. Sorry, not investor day, an analyst day on the 7th. So 2 days from now. It's gonna be 2 hours. The team is going. Jeff Story and the others from the senior leadership team will discuss the company pathway to growth through Lumen's platform and the new go-to market strategies. Um, I'm scared, millennial. Jeff is a really bad pitch man.
Sorry, go ahead.
Jeff is a very bad pitch man. That's why I'm scared.
Yeah, I mean, guys, I looking at all this stuff, I I see nothing that's making me change my thought process. Um, Now I can definitely be stuck in this just like I was with ACRX. That's a for sure thing. They could do that. But so here it is. Here are the arguments, the TA arguments about price movement, chart direction. I saw somebody posting the other day. Um, this is somebody who's bullish on Zemetica posting a. They're calling this the world's largest cup and handle formation. So this is on a 5-year pattern. So this is all the way back to 2015. Is that right? 2015? No. 1806 29. 2018. Okay, 2018. Um, they're saying from 2018 to here is the cup, and this is the handle. The question people have is if it took 3 years for the cup to form, how long is the handle going to form to go? Yeah, this is not a huge deal for me, guys, like I said, but portfolio is coming up on down 40%. So I'm still just sitting and waiting. Sitting and waiting. We have not heard any news out of SNDL on what they're spending the money on. either, which is one of the big catalysts that I'm waiting for with them is an announcement as to what are you doing with 700 million bucks. A lot of people ask, why do I even bother lurking in stock twits? Sentiment is one thing. The other thing is occasionally when you've got this many people that are watching something um, and constantly looking for news, occasionally you will find news drop on these feeds faster than it hits the mainstream if you're watching for it. Somebody will just get a news snippet, something. Um, Zomedica Cohen. Sing finished the reverse split. Yeah, I'm not going to go anywhere near that again. That was a bit of a meme. I'm glad I made what I made on it, but yikes. Everything's toxic on StockTwits. Everything. Every ticker is toxic. You just need to understand that. Okay, so here's Robert Cohen. Okay, here's the CEO of Zomedica. He's been with how many different companies here? He was the vice president of business development for Pfizer back in the 80s for 11 years. GCI Medical Device Company, Sulzer Medica, St. Jude Medical, Advanced Circulatory Systems, Travanti Pharma, Miromatrix Medical, Embomedics. Yeah, MGTI is just off of crypto prices. And it was a long, like I've got 300 bucks in there. It's a nothing. Um, SHG's back up over 130. That's not bad. Not minding that so much. So the guy's got a pipeline to him. He's been doing this for a while. The Pfizer position as vice president is kind of a big deal. I'd even take a buyout on Zomedica. So the other company that people keep talking about that has similar products is Idecs. Um, I think it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. So this is the company that does similar diagnostics work in the field. Um, so I mean, IDEX is a much bigger company, and with a $42 billion market cap, a buyout. I think we see a buyout offer come in at around that $6 to $8, if not the $10 mark, for Zomedica. But it could just be a question of them hammering that out now. I wonder. No, I don't want to join LinkedIn Prime. Thank you. Connect to some of these folks and see what's going on. Yeah, Zomedica does have a member who used to work for Idecs, which would make sense with Idecs being so big in the industry. Just want to go through the people here. There's only 27 employees here. Really, their marketing person is the one that I want. Yeah, this guy. For 8 years at Idecs, executive director, head of sales and marketing. This guy here. Brock Herbst. Okay, this is an SEC form from March 13th. $700,000 shares is what's here. Okay. I want to see insiders. This doesn't have a lot of the insider buying stuff on tip ranks here, surprisingly. Let's go to Edgar and see what else they've got in there. Whoever's doing the updates to Edgar, I don't like it. Make them stop. Yeah, I saw that Google. That's really bad news for Oracle.
Oh my god. This is why you don't listen to stock twits. This person hit back at me saying, "You clearly know nothing about AMC. This thing is very prized, right?" I'm like, this is directly from them, from their SEC filing. She's like, "But you clearly don't know what the hell you're talking about. You should read the Wall Street Journal article. Blocked." I'm like, "Yes, because the news orgs never lie about anything. You mean like how they never did any sort of quality research into Trevor Milton saying HTML supercomputer, or Tesla's gonna die
Yeah.
because they can't meet car manufacturing estimates." Okay.
Guys, if a headline claims one thing and the SEC filing completely contradicts it, always go with the SEC filing. Always.
You can lie to your investors. You just can't lie to the US government. So,
yeah, Mara.
Unless you're China.
Yeah. Okay. This is a. So guys, this was the 8K regarding the preferred shares. Okay, so this is the big news for me. Zomedica completed the exchange of all 12 of its outstanding Series 1 preferred shares. Okay, so a Series 1 preferred share was valued at $1 million per share. Okay, in exchange for their $1 million per share that they would have had, those 12 shares, so $12 million worth of holdings, was swapped for 25 million common shares, equivalent to about $44 million based on a 1.78 per share closing price, is what this is saying. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Company received $12 million in exchange for the preferred shares. We're entitled to. Okay. Had the preferred shares done what they could have done, they would have pocketed $108 million and 9% royalty on the net sales of Zomedica. Okay. So 108 million plus 9% of the royalty of the net sales. These holders of these preferred shares swap this instead for 44 million. Okay. So let's say you are an early investor, a hedge fund, somebody who has read through this company, they understand the industry, they know what's going on. That's who has these preferred shares. These are not retail investors that hold these preferred shares, okay? These are people that know what they're doing, they know what they're talking about, they've done the due diligence, they've ripped this thing apart from IPO, they know what it is, okay? And they are told, listen, you have your preferred shares and you can take these and they're worth $108 million plus 9% of the royalties, or you can convert those instead to common shares and take an immediate $70 million loss, $60 million loss on your holding. And they all go, not some of them, all of them go, we're in. We'll do it. Why in the world would somebody who's a knowledgeable investor who's been trading this thing since IPO go, you know what? I'll lose $60 million. Just, you don't need to be a financial wizard, okay? Hell, let's just do this in numbers that we can all realize. You are currently holding a coffee cup that entitles you to $108 and 9% of the revenue for every coffee that comes out of this cup for the foreseeable future. Okay? Now, you can keep this or you can trade it in for this water bottle that's only worth 44 million bucks. Right. So there are two narratives. They think that they're going to lose more than $60 million, or they realize that there's a shortage in water bottles and this has a patent and it's going to go to the moon, right? So those are the two concepts. Coffee for life. But all of them, that it wasn't one or two of these preferred shares, right? That all of the owners of preferred shares went, yep, let's do this. If it was kind of humming and hawing, like some of them agreed to it, some of them didn't, maybe I'd be in that mindset that, okay, it's because they aren't sure that there's going to be value in this. But that everybody did it. For me, I just see it as them recognizing the value that this has in the long term. Okay, in further news, the first group of direct Zomedica field personnel completed their training in anticipation of the commercial release. So, okay, so the Zomedica sales team is ready and rolling. Sales representatives of Miller Vet Supply, Zomedica's distribution partner, also have completed their initial training program. Zomedica developed and implemented the training program to deliver a transformational learning program to its sales teams through a defined process of providing a well-defined strategy, disease knowledge, understanding the market. Protected by approximately 70 issued and pending patents, the Truforma platform uses bulk acoustic wave technology developed by Qorvo to provide a non-optical and fluorescence-free detection system for use at the point of care. BAW technology, also used in cell phones and in the world's most advanced radar and communication systems, is reliable and precise. Okay, so those who hold the value are willing to convert to common share. Sales teams are trained both at Zomedica and at Miller Vet, and the platform is protected by 70 patents. This is saying I can sign up for email alerts. Maybe that's a good idea to go there and sign up for email alerts. Oh, there's an RSS feed. Durr. Just subscribe to that using this handy dandy tool. And then go back here and all calendar events, subscribe to that, and all news releases, subscribe to that. There we go. That's the way to go. Godzilla and King Kong, yeah. Anyways, guys, in my mind, with the amount of clinics, so I would say just New York State has enough clinics for them to hit their that sales target of 70 units. But we're talking the whole East Coast. We're talking the whole East Coast. So U.S. East Coast is where they're selling. So my ballpark is the unit cost 15 grand. Between New York, New Jersey, I need something with names on it because I don't. Yeah, so New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. These are not huge states as far as population goes, but New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Ohio, Florida, right? Between those states alone, Massachusetts, between those states alone, I think that there is enough just sheer clinics out there for them to sell 70 of these products. Now, if they can sell double that, if they can sell somewhere around 140 by the 15,000, then we're looking at 2 million. Is that right? Yeah, about 2 million in sales. So, yeah, it looks like that 10 million number that I had hoped for is extremely like what would it have to be for them to hit the 10 million? I guess it would have to be 5 times that, right? So they'd have to sell like 600 units. Yeah. So it'd have to sell, ballpark 600 units, which would be a lot. I don't know that you're going to sell 600 units, but we shall see. Time will tell. Yeah, this is done. I feel for the guys here on CTRM. This has got to be painful for them. The heck is ACY? I don't know. Where are you seeing ACY? Aero Century Group. Leased aircraft for regional flights. Chapter 11. Yeah, I mean, I think they rent. I think that whoever wrote um, the breakdown for that PR release screwed the pooch. I don't think that they did a great job. That PR release should have been done differently. However, um, There's no news. That's just what's killing me. The target is vets and not investors, which is important for sure. But the no news is just killing me. Derek Chauvin. Okay. On Friday, veteran Minneapolis Police Lieutenant Richard Zimmerman testified it was totally unnecessary for Chauvin to put his knee on a handcuffed neck during last May's arrest. George Floyd's girlfriend, Courtney Ross, offered an emotional testimony on the couple's past struggles with drug addiction. Chauvin's former supervisor testified Thursday that the ex-cop should have stopped using force after Floyd was handcuffed on the ground. Floyd, a black man, died in police custody after Chauvin pinned his knee against Floyd's neck for more than 9 minutes. So, what's up, Sing? Guys, no news is good news. Yeah, it's not bad news, but it's definitely not good news either. This is going to be the big one, guys. They have to prove that this was not in the training regimen. They have to prove that he was not trained to do that. That was one of the big issues with the gentleman in New York who had the bag put on his head and suffocated as a result of it. That they followed procedure, which is why the officers didn't have to face charges. They followed procedure. They did what they were trained to do. Now, that doesn't mean that what they were trained to do was right. It just means that they did what they were trained to do. So, what needs to happen is they need to change that training to something else. Um, yeah, guys, ACY I would stay away from. That is, they've declared they're going bankruptcy. They're going Chapter 11. I would stay away. I'm waiting on sales numbers for Zomedica or approval from the FDA on ZM017. These groups, this is like a Doctors Against Borders site. Any of these groups doesn't really mean much to me. Um, a leading international advocacy organization. As a 6-year cop, it's been against protocol to put a knee or leg on neck during 3-point prone cuffing, deadly force at that point. Gazanka is what state, if you don't mind me asking? Florida? Yeah, so that's another one of the problems that we're having is that there's a lot of law enforcement professionals that are weighing in on it, saying this would never happen where I'm from, but the training isn't standard from state to state, unfortunately. There are no Zomedica options. It just doesn't allow. It's not the same rules from state to state. The training in New York is different from California, is different from Florida, is different from Illinois, is different from Ohio, is different from Minneapolis. So there's been a lot of people, not just in the Chauvin case, but in the Kyle Rittenhouse case, saying, "Well, this is how this would go in our state." And it's like, well, that's fantastic, but state by state, the training, the regulations, and the legislation are all different. Meaning that you can have professionals weigh in from New York or Florida or California, but the reality is it's got to be from the state. Now, it is not to his credit. I will say that for a fact. It is not to his credit that where did it go? Where did the Chauvin thing go? Chauvin. This the veteran Minneapolis police lieutenant testified it was totally unnecessary. This does not bode well for him that a vet from the force is saying that this was totally unnecessary. However, it just doesn't rule out that this wasn't what he was trained to do, unfortunately. And I'm not advocating that what he did was right. I think that anybody who had seen anything regarding the incident can say that this was wrong. To see what happened here, where a man is handcuffed on the ground. Yeah, even if you wanted to apply force to the back, I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay if I saw him, apply weight to the lower back, to make sure that he doesn't get up. But the knee to the neck, I mean, come on. I think everybody looked at it and went, well, this isn't quite right. However, I don't know what the training looks like that he had, and I think that's going to be that's going to be the key pin in this is what was he trained to do, and both sides are going to have to prove that what he did wasn't what is currently what he's being trained to do in Minneapolis. Unfortunately, Loki trailers are out. Tractor trailer with that 69 cheer. What's up? What's up? What's up? Oh, that's clever. Cutie pie because it's 3.14. I get it. This is gonna be sick. I am so stoked for more of these series. I actually prefer the series to this, to the big films. You get more out of these long TV series. I would rather see, um, like Obi-Wan. I am stoked for the Star Wars Obi-Wan series. I am pumped for that. Yeah, they are really opening the door to this timey-wimey multi-dimension thing. Yeah, Ahsoka is going to be pretty sweet too. Ahsoka with uh it's Rosario Dawson, right? WandaVision was fantastic. I think Falcon's going to pick up more towards the end. I think it's going to be pretty cool. Wakanda series they're going to need to break down why he's not Black Panther anymore for sure. Um, yeah, I think it's Rosario Dawson. Ahsoka Tano. Bum 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 bum. Do 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 do. Bum bum. Man, I always forget that Star Wars lore is like crazy in depth. Ahsoka Tano Mandalorian. That's Clone Wars. Yeah, it was Rosario Dawson. Yeah, so Rosario Dawson will be playing her, which is pretty sick. I'm thinking that what we see with I think what we see with the Black Panther is them. I mean, how do we have confirmation on who is the next Black Panther? Is that out yet? Do we have that? Who is the next Black Panther? They're not recasting him. Blah blah. I mean, there's Michael B. Jordan was sick. I would love for them to actually bring back Killmonger. Um, I think that'd be sick. Yeah, we talked about ZOM a little bit already, where there's no news and we're just waiting. Um, the three names that I see popping up for Panther are Zuri, so his sister, um, Killmonger, and then the other one that is a possibility is the Man Ape, the guy that played the Man Ape, which I think would be kind of cool, kind of out of left field. In the Ultimate Marvel universe, M'Baku is the name of T'Challa's older brother. After the young T'Challa failed to complete the trial of the Black Panther, M'Baku derided him, saying that he should have taken the trial instead. I'd like to see that. I actually really like the actor that played M'Baku in Panther. This guy here, he was a badass. I'd be down with that. I think he would make a badass Black Panther, but that's me. Um, all right, it's almost 11 here, guys. I don't see anything else happening here. Spy 406 all-time highs. That's on news that the infrastructure bill is just going to be pushed through. What about Pink Panther? I don't know that Steve Martin would make a good T'Challa. I just don't see him being able to fill those shoes. Um, GME has recovered to 184 from a dip at 165. Zomedica down. Clover Health is still floating that 745. Scanners, what are we seeing? Yeah, guys, be very, very careful with ACY. This is a bankruptcy play. Archimine, that 2-month resub. What? Thank you kindly, sir. Thank you kindly. Yeah, so last news, guys. Plummets 40% after hours in reaction to an announcement. The company and certain of its subsidiaries have commenced a voluntary case under Chapter 11. The company has determined the Chapter 11 process is the most effective. So let's take a look at news for AeroCentury. Set this to today. They received a bullish upgrade. Yeah, I just don't. Bankruptcy stocks, man, they make me a little. 10%, 10%, man. Nothing to complain about there. DMX is on life support and is in a vegetative state. Yeah, I'm still ZOM SNDL. I'm in those long. I think both of them have the potential to be really big for me. So I'm not really wanting to go anywhere. AMC is up 11% on the day, guys, off of Kong. So the headlines rule on that one. I'm not sold that that's a recovery for that industry, but
See you, teacher.
thank you.
Mom's not home yet.
Okay.
Their filings had this like performance graph thing, which is kind of funny because it said that if you invested $100 into AMC or the Spy or one of their competitors, which they won't name, but around 2016 to 2018, you would have had $148 in AMC, $120 in Spy, and $78 in the competition. Today, you would have had about $17 in AMC, $200 in the Spy, and about 70 something of their competitors. That's directly from AMC themselves.
Yeah.
This is how you know, like, essentially someone's just so unhinged when the company themselves saying, no, listen, we're not doing that good. They're like, but you guys are doing great. Cog, like this, blah blah, whatever sort of like, whatever poor argument they made, the one thing that doesn't have that much relevance to the situation.
Yeah, Clavington, I'm in the same boat. In my mind, that's a $1 billion movie, right? You think back to pre-COVID, Avengers Endgame, like those big blockbusters, it should have been closer to $1 billion. At least, triple digit millions.
Like opening weekend, they like to see at least double or triple to give them confidence, even to start in a sequel. But now
You
they're
want
like,
to make
wait,
back your production budget
yeah.
on the opening
So
weekend.
double, triple their whatever their production budget was. I don't know how much Godzilla
Let's
versus
see if we
Kong
can find
cost.
that.
But I was looking for it on the weekend. I couldn't find it, but I think it's probably around 50 to 100. 160 million, according to USA Today.
Yeah, they've got it ballparked to 155 to 200. So I mean, they made back their production cost.
Through the foreign, yeah. But I am glad to see that they added some things in this series. I almost slipped there and said what they added, but
Yeah, don't you dare spoiler that movie.
I caught
I
myself
kill
at the
you.
last second.
I kill you. Don't you dare. I think it goes from being a regular part of day-to-day life to being a novelty. I really do. I don't see box office ever returning to where it was. And with so much money being dumped into AR VR, who would I would much rather watch Kong versus Godzilla in VR. Why go to a theater when you can pop on a VR headset and be in the movie? But that's what I mean. Is you create an experience. By it being VR and you being in the film, I think that's huge. That would be a much better way to go than trying to drive people into theaters. Nothing like going and getting charged. Now everybody has 4K TVs at home. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I love movies. I love the theaters. But why in the world would I go to spend as much on popcorn as I do on a movie?
And that's what I was saying this morning about how, because Disney, all right, in their filings, it says that they have with Universal the 17-day delay. So there's going to be 17 days between when they go into these premium videos, this video on demand services, but that's only one agreement with Universal slash Comcast. Everybody else, like Disney, for example, charging $30 on top. How soon do you think it's going to be before the regular consumers just call that a norm and say like, nah, going to a theater is not worth it or whatever. I'd rather just pay the $30 at home because I could save $20 or however much more than that and have like a watch party at my place and that's it. Like it's just they'll eventually cave and start paying that price. Maybe not $30, but maybe like $10, $20 on top of their subscriptions.
The VIP theaters are pretty good, Clavington, but again, it's cheaper for me to go out for dinner before I go to the movie than hitting up one of those VIPs. Um, for those of you that weren't born in the 80s or early 90s, this is Kurt Cobain. He is one of the greatest musicians of all time. His wife killed him. Today is the anniversary of that death.
You made me look up Dave Grohl to see what's he's up to.
He's still Foo Fighting, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so. He was, if again, this is history, but Dave Grohl used to be the drummer for Kurt Cobain's band, and he was very affected by his death.
There he is back in the day. Man, look at that photo. He reminds me of the vote for Pedro guy there. Yeah, this guy. Come on, tell me there's not even a little bit. Little. Put a mustache on him.
Well, Kurt in the middle looks like Sean William Scott.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but Dave went on to be frontman for the Foo Fighters.
It's his band, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like everybody offered him a role because like this dude was a legendary drummer.
Instead, he wanted to be a bassist.
And vocalist.
And then this is the lady that officially did not kill him, killed him. That's one of the ones, guys. There's a few deaths in music history that will always be highly contested. At the top of that list, I would say would be Cobain and Hendrix.
Looks
The
like we have
numbers the numbers just don't add up for Hendrix and Cobain. Never have.
looks like we're having new lines in the sand now for the spy. 400, 461, and now 405. Sorry, 405.50. I'm just gonna average that down, but 405.50.
You guys remember how I keep saying that Amazon is spending more and more money on AR and VR? We were just talking about that. There it is. He acknowledges AR's importance to the future of Apple.
Not a lot of activity in the background for Zemetica Millennial. Only 150k plus 184 plus 100 plus 100. It's not very active.
It's a time thing for me.
This is what I miss about the old market. Just like stuff that you expect to happen months from now happens like next week.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a much slower pace for sure. Just trying to see what's going on. Bear market confirmed. I don't think we can call bear market when the SPY's at all-time highs.
Oh yeah. So another thing that got raised for me millennial. So Godzilla versus Kong, blah blah, the 200 million. So they made their money back, but did they really? Because I was always under the impression that like theaters don't get a cut of the ticket sales. They just make money based on the concession stands, right?
They make almost nothing
But
off ticket sales.
was it like what 10, 20%?
Not even. No. After cost of licensing and
Yeah.
then the overhead on the projectors and whatnot, they make almost nothing. Everything that they make is on concession.
Fuck.
Playboy Group soars again. I still can't trade ARB. I cannot trade ARB KF yet.
Wait, can you not pull it up or?
Whenever I go to trade it, all it says is
This contract can only be closed.
this ticker is not currently available. Please call whoever to place an order.
Yeah, it says that this contract can only be closed, but I'm getting quotes, so that's a funny thing.
Yeah, I can get the quotes on it, no problem. I just can't buy it. It's there. I see it. The Argo blockchain. And I remember looking at it when it was down at the 70 cent mark, and I tried to get in, and it wouldn't let me in, and I tried to get in $1, and it wouldn't let me in. Yeah, RKF.
All right, so the volume's kind of moderate on this one, but this is one of the few that I actually did like, Millennial. You remember Safety, the Israeli company or whatever that I was talking about?
Yes.
So their last filing showed that their revenue increased and stuff like that, right? And I looked into some of the stuff that they had. They had like something called a zero trust access network and all these other things, but that stuff I'm still kind of understanding. But they also launched essentially a shoe resale website, and I don't know. God, I'm trying to find it again, but I don't know if that's actually going to be highly relevant or not because if like I know that the shoe resale market and like has an audience there, but I don't know how that world works. Like, is it do they all like do they all go into like one website, or are there like small sectors that these people can get market share out of, or?
I don't think so. I think it's a really, really overflooded market. And I mean, right now, what is that called? Is it Stock X? Yeah, Stock X. If you're somebody who's actually big on sneakers, this is where you're buying your sneakers. Right?
Yeah, so here are there's 4 highlights for it. So there's sneaker resale industry breakthrough, blah blah, proxy in a box. So they're talking about like a VPN, essentially doing a VPN, and then they said they also launched a new residential network for the multi-billion-dollar sneaker resale market. The new products for synergy between safety's business IP, blah blah. So they're doing that type of cybersecurity with that market there, and then Further expand our distribution channel by teaming up with additional global partners for resale of its zero trust solutions. Nope, that's not it. Partner with HTC Global Services, a global provider of infotech and solutions through India. Fuck, I can't. They had a name for the shoe resale one. I just can't find it.
This is the shoe resale site, StockX.
But it's like if it's not in conjunction with safety, like I don't really like safety unless it says.
I'm not a fan of the concept. I think the market's flooded.
Yeah. The whole thing is that like I treat it like Bitcoin essentially. If it's not like the go-to site, if it's not like a verb, like yeah, let's go eBay it or go Amazon it or whatever, right? Then it's
Yeah.
kind of crap. So
Yep.
I mean, when I have money, I'll probably pick up 100 shares just for whatever sake because I like that they're making revenue. That's all I care about right now. If it becomes mainstream or they get better contracts, that's just icing on the cake. But oh yeah, so this is actually from a guy I know down in South Dakota. Says that my family owns a couple theaters down there. New movies, 80 to 90% of the ticket sales goes to the film, depending on what they negotiated. The mid range within a year, but not older, 50 to 75% goes to the publishers or whatever the producers, and then if it's older than a year, 25 to 50% is sorry, 50, I should read this in reverse because he wrote this the other way, but 25 to 50% goes to back to the movie company. And he says that the fluctuations go up and down because if they're still popular after that amount of time in the theater.
There's definitely exceptions. Like I know films like Ghostbusters and Rocky Horror Picture Show; those ones still have rather high rates because they have that kind of cult following. Yeah, no, guys. In regards to where I would go after ZOM and SNDL, I always have this open, and I'm adding to it when I find things that I'm seeing a good case for, and I will delete them from here when I don't see the case anymore. But Ride, UMC, AQB, and DGLY are the ones that I'm looking at as my next moves. Whether that continues to be there or not, I think DGLY would be the first one that I leg off of this list. But I think semiconductors are going to continue to be in shortage for quite a while. I think Ride has a great potential in heading into September, and AQB same thing into Q4. So these ones are three big ones that I'm looking at, and then DGLY as a potential long. So the thing is, I feel bad for you guys being here. I know it's a lot sexier for the people that are day traders doing high frequency trading that are in and out of a dozen plays. You're not going to see that here. It looks at this point that I am in these positions until the end of May, which means I will still be watching the market, breaking down tickers and breaking down the breaking news for you guys and giving you my insights into the tickers that you guys throw out. But as to my own portfolio, I'm not. It's not moving. It's not going anywhere. No, I'm not out of Zomatica. No, 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 no. I'm the portfolio is not going anywhere. It's staying exactly where it is. The holdings that I have not shown me that the analysis I've done on them is wrong. So this guy is actually somebody that I think I'll follow because he's actually done a decent amount of DD.
Oh, that's nutty. Apparently, Cineplex does direct streaming to you. You can buy the movie up front for like $20.
Yeah, I've got that on my TV that I can buy directly from them. I just never do. I buy it from YouTube instead. Every time I buy from Cineplex, there's an error.
I I let's just say I sail the high seas.
So this is one that keeps popping up in the news is what's going on the border. The last news that we had was Harris is being appointed to oversee the border response, but it's been 2 weeks and there's still been nothing on it. There is a huge growing crisis in the States on the border as far as illegal entries or attempted illegal entries. Gee, dog, 5 months in a row. Keep doing what I'm doing. Okay. I can do that. I can do that. I want you guys to be getting as much value out of this as possible. And I know this weekend with Easter, I wasn't around for the DD on Saturday that I usually do. Rest assured, I'm still doing that. It's just that it's Easter. We're a Christian family. I wasn't going to be around streaming, but no excuses. This Saturday I will be there. There will be a new book. Yeah, I saw that this morning. Yellen's calling for a global minimum corporate tax rate. Now, they're setting it to 28 here in the States. The EU is currently set to 25. So it actually would be, I don't know if the EU looks to raise theirs on that. I think that they might actually have an interesting concept with that because if the EU mandates a corporate tax rate of a certain percent, and all of the I think it's good for England, I should say, because England not being bound to any EU agreement can say, yeah, we're going to lower our corporate tax rate to like 10%. And that's how we're going to revitalize our economy is we will take all of the headquarters and business from the EU and from the US by not having this ridiculous corporate tax rate of 28%. Can you imagine for every dollar you made with a company, let's say you're a small business owner, every dollar the government shows up and says, give me 25 cents. Hey, sure, no problem. My current profit margin's only about 19% right now with the taxes at 21%. Sure, I'll just take another 8% out of my profit and hand it to you for no reason, nothing's changed, no more value. Why not? Right? Like after I pay my labor, my expenses, my costs, my all of that's covered. I'm actually the one doing the work and running my business. Sure, I'll give you another 8 cents on the dollar. For what? 8% more for what? What do I get for my 8 more cents on the dollar that I'm giving you? Nothing? Nothing. I get the same service I've received before. Like, bruh. Tax the rich always backfires and ends up hurting the little guy. Always, 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 always. Within a week of legislation being put out that took a year, within a week, those high spending, wealthy businesses have found the loophole. They found the way around it. And the little guy who can't rotate shift or afford a lawyer or accountant to give him that, he gets boned. Upcoming earnings, nothing of value. Acadia is down on rejection of their drug. So you guys want to see what the risk is to investing in biostocks on approval? Here's the risk. This was a $20 a share company, $25 a share company. It is now a $20 a share company. Russia drops threat to block Twitter. Country will keep throttling the speed of Twitter. A move it has made since March until May 15th. Russia's Roskomnadzor watchdog discusses the move by saying Twitter is now deleting banned content faster than it had before, though at 81 hours on average, still much longer than the 24 hours that Russian law demands. Two sides held a video conference on April 1st. It was a productive discussion on how we can both work to ensure the reports of such illegal content are dealt with expeditiously. Okay, so this is regarding anything that's deemed illegal in Russia being pulled from the Russian feeds within 24 hours of it being flagged by the state in Russia. So I imagine that's anything that's anti-Putin, anything that's LGBTQ, anything that's pro-Navalny, anything that is, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of just general freedom needs to be pulled. Anything at the whim of the Russian state that says you got to be pulled. The way you pronounce that. Did you see that New York adopted the same law as Ontario? It didn't go with the California layout for pot?
They did? I didn't see that.
Yep. Yep. So in California, there are restricted spaces that you can smoke, right?
Yep.
In New York, anywhere you can smoke tobacco, you can smoke pot, just like us, which is huge.
I mean, like, simplified laws like that are very easy to put through. So easy to put through, easy to understand.
You will not be able to buy recreational marijuana in a store until mid to late 2022 in New York. Which begs the question. If you can't buy it in a store, but you're able to smoke it as of right now, where are you buying it from? Yeah, any of those old legal arguments of I pulled them over because I thought that they were high, or I smelt it, or those are out the window. They're gone. Here's how the Lowell Herb Company makes 4 million joints a year. $25,000 joints a day. Can't be high in driving. You think there's a test for that? The test that they have, the test that they've built, is fantastic for California and Colorado to some extent. But the crazy part is the test doesn't work in sub-zero climate. Anything under freezing, it doesn't work. Which means for New York State and Canada, that's a bit of a joke, really. That's why in Ontario they don't use the test because it's inconclusive. Yeah, what do you do for a living? I roll blunts for a living. I'm a big fan of rolling them blunts. This is what I want the news on. SNDL is sitting on $700 million. Let me know what you're buying. Get on in there. Get into New York. Find small businesses that are looking to become pot sellers and get it done. What is this? When you get them suspect invites on Facebook where it's like I know that person, but I'm not sure that is that person. Uh, Mara wilding out. It's up 12% on the day. Yeah, yeah. If they bought Philip Morris, I'd be thrilled. I only have Facebook uh, for my 2 or 3 remaining clients. It's more like two now. Like 2 remaining clients that I manage. Otherwise, I don't really use Facebook. I'm not a huge fan of it. I hate Instagram. Absolutely loathe Instagram. I want nothing for it. Nothing doing. Not a fan. Not a fan of the platform. How it tries to lock people out from the rest of the internet. Not a fan. Um, really, really, really dislike what Facebook is doing. YouTube getting back to me with details about the issue that I'm having there. They say it's fixed, so let's go see. Is it fixed? Is there a banner here? Do you guys see a banner? Because I don't see a banner. I don't see a banner. That's supposed to be the banner. I'm going to say this problem is not resolved. Bring in updates, man. I knew it was going to be a bad day. I knew it was going to be a bad day, guys. When Chrome and Windows update on the same day. Oh. Such a piss off. Every single time. Just drives me nuts. GME is now approaching 200. Yeah. Like, come on. Come on. Just hit F5 easy. Yeah. Log out, log back in. Yeah, I'm bullish on ZOM near endlessly. Okay, I did that, and now I go here, and I go here, I go here, and customization, branding, upload, this one, done, publish, go to channel. Hey! Who was it? Who was it that said it? Seagrave. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is updated. It is there now. It is a thing. The banner is fixed. Thank you kindly. Much appreciated. By the way, guys, if you're not following over on YouTube, I'm almost at 2K subscribers now over there. So huge shout out to the YouTube clan. I will be putting the new content that I will be creating weekly on there. I'm not sure what that's exactly going to look like, whether that's a book review or whether that's trading style, stock ticker breakdown, whatever it's going to be, but it'll be weekly. That link doesn't work.
Oh, speaking of which, Millennial, I did the things that you told me to do and then some as well. I added the other channels and stuff like that. I did the playlist with other people more popular than me and stuff like that. And I also added my channel keywords, which I didn't realize I didn't put in.
Are you serious right now? 404 not found. What? Duh. Sometimes, man. Sometimes I just it driving me nuts. Yeah, come on in.
You you said at the end of the last month that we would have go break. Is that?
Yeah, I need to come down and do that. All right, guys, we are at school o'clock with my kiddos, and I need to go down and help my daughter decide what she's doing with her school for the month. So that's it for me. Thank you for the help with the YouTube channel. You guys rock. If you're not following already or subbed over there, do that, because I will be putting out new videos regularly on YouTube as well to help people break things down. New sponsor contract is signed. They just need to pay me. And then the new sponsor will be here. So keep that in mind. We will see the new sponsor, and that sponsorship will be going directly to the young gentleman I know who has leukemia. Also, guys, charity stream will probably be the end of this month. Okay, so keep that in mind. Later. Have an amazing day. We're gonna go raid the guy that does the stocks with the things. In like 3, 2, 1. Later.